London, 1837. The fog comes in thick off the Thames. Gas lamps flicker, the streets narrow, and somewhere in the dark, something moves. Not an animal, not a man, something else. It stands taller than any person should. Its eyes glow red, not the dull red of firelight, but something colder. And then it leaps over a wall, over a rooftop, gone before the scream even forms. They called him Spring-Heeled Jack, and for 60 years, nobody knew what he was. It started quietly, the way the worst things always do. Autumn, 1837. A young servant girl named Mary Stevens was walking home through Clapham Common, a route she'd taken 100 times before. The path was familiar, the fog was not unusual. She had no reason to be afraid. Then a figure lunged from the darkness. He grabbed her with hands she later described as ice-cold, metallic almost, and tore at her clothing. She screamed. He fled. And when people arrived to help her, there was nothing there. Just fog, just silence, just Mary shaking. The next night, the same figure leapt directly in front of a horse-drawn carriage on a nearby road. The horses reared. The driver was thrown. The creature bounded away across the rooftops, laughing. And then the reports started flooding in. Battersea, Barnes, Hammersmith, women walking home alone, always women, always alone, being approached by the same figure. Tall, dark clothing pulled tight, eyes that burned red in the dark, and hands tipped with something sharp. Metal claws, witnesses said. Like a machine built for cruelty. Some reported something even stranger, that when he opened his mouth, blue flames poured out. Blue flames. London tried to dismiss it. The police shrugged. Magistrates called it hysteria, drunk women, overactive imaginations. Then came Jane Alsop. February 1838. Jane Alsop was at home with her family when there was a knock at the door. A man stood on the step. He was polite, calm. He told her he was a police officer, that they had caught Spring-Heeled Jack nearby and needed a light to see by. Jane trusted him. Why wouldn't she? She turned and fetched a candle. She held it out to him, and that was when he stepped into the light. His face was wrong, his eyes, glowing, red, fixed on her. He threw back his cloak and lunged forward, breathing fire into her face. She screamed and ran. He caught her on the stairs, raking his claws across her arms and tearing at her dress, before her sisters dragged her free and slammed the door. When police arrived, nothing. He was gone. Days later, Lucy Scales, 18 years old, walking home with her sister through Limehouse. A cloaked figure stepped out of the shadows. He said nothing, just raised his hands and blasted blue flame directly into her face. She collapsed, temporarily blinded, screaming in the street. Her sister screamed for help. He was already gone. The Lord Mayor of London was forced to hold a public meeting. Letters were read aloud, dozens of them, from citizens across the city describing the same creature. The same eyes, the same claws, the same impossible leaping. Vigilante groups formed. Armed men patrolled the streets at night. One encounter with a group of soldiers became legend. They spotted the figure on a rooftop, gave chase, and opened fire with muskets. Witnesses said the bullets seemed to bounce off him. He laughed, turned, and cleared 2 rooftops in a single bound. Laughed. Whatever this thing was, it wasn't afraid. So what was Spring-Heeled Jack? Let's look at what we actually know, and what people believed. Theory 1. A wealthy sadist. Almost from the beginning, suspicion fell on Henry de la Poer Beresford, the 3rd Marquess of Waterford. He was everything a Victorian villain should be. Aristocratic, reckless, and utterly beyond accountability. He was notorious for drunken violence and elaborate pranks. He once reportedly painted the Cross Keys pub in London red for sport. He was known to terrorize people for entertainment. The theory goes like this. A man with enough money could commission a costume. Spring-loaded boots, a helmet with red glass eyes, a device to spray flammable gas and ignite it. Nothing in the accounts was technically impossible for 1837 if you had deep enough pockets. The Marquess denied everything. He died in a horse-riding accident in 1859. The sightings continued long after. Theory 2. Mass hysteria. Victorian society was obsessed with penny dreadfuls. cheap, sensational horror pamphlets sold on street corners. The press was unregulated and hungry for horror. Once the story of Spring-Heeled Jack appeared in print, it fed on itself. Every strange figure in the fog became a possible sighting, every shadow a potential monster. Critics of this theory point to the Jane Alsop case. She filed a formal police report. She had physical injuries. Whatever attacked her was real. Theory 3, something else entirely. This is the one that refuses to go away. Because the sightings didn't stop in 1838. They didn't stop in the 1840s. They spread to Sheffield, to Liverpool, to the Welsh countryside. By 1877, soldiers stationed at Aldershot Barracks reported being terrorized by a leaping figure that shrugged off rifle fire. In 1904, a figure matching the description was seen in Everton, running along rooftops before crowds of witnesses. That's nearly 70 years of sightings. No single human prankster sustains a prank for 70 years. No mass hysteria lasts 7 decades across an entire country. Some researchers have suggested stranger explanations: escaped military experiments, an extraterrestrial entity, a genuinely supernatural being that fed on fear and attention, and simply moved on when the fear diminished. None of it has ever been proven. None of it has ever been disproven. And then, he stopped. No final capture, no definitive explanation. The sightings just thinned out. The last widely reported account came from Liverpool in 1904. After that, silence. But here's what stays with me. Dozens of separate witnesses, across 6 decades, in different cities with no connection to one another, all describing the same thing. The same eyes, the same claws, the same terrible, mocking laughter as he cleared walls that no human being should be able to clear. Coincidence? Maybe. Shared hysteria? Possibly. Or maybe something really was out there. Something that watched the city from the rooftops. Something that moved through Victorian England like a ghost, seen by hundreds, caught by none. Spring-Heeled Jack was never identified. Spring-Heeled Jack was never stopped. And if the stories are to be believed, Spring-Heeled Jack simply chose to leave, which means he also chose to come. And if something like that exists, something that moves in the dark, something that leaps where it shouldn't, something that breathes fire and laughs while bullets bounce off its chest, what's to say it ever really left? Sleep well.